All right. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Just Antoine here with Daily Living with Proverbs. And today we're going to be focusing on Proverbs 31, the sayings of King Lemuel. The sayings of King Lemuel, an inspired utterance his mother taught him. It's a wonderful thing when your parents can teach you some things that will take you to that next level. And it reads, verse 2 says, "Listen, my son, listen, son of my womb. Listen, my son, the answer to my prayers." You know, it's a special thing when you have a mother talking to a son and she knows where her blessings come from, right? And she can normally steer you in the right direction, right? Because she realizes her source of strength, her source of deliverance, her answer to her prayers. Verse 3 says, "Do not spend your strength on women, your vigor on those who ruin kings." He said she was teaching him you have to have your priorities straight, and women is not the way to go. Don't set your affections on them. Okay, don't spend your strength on them. It is not for kings, Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine, not for rulers to crave beer. And so she's laying some groundworks for him so that he can go to that level where she uh, aspires for him to be. And it's important that we lay down some rules and some guidelines, and not really lay them down, but let our children know that our expectations of them are high, and it just builds their self-esteem. And then you can give them some great advice because you've already set them up um, on a high level. So verse 5 says, "Lest they drink and forget what has been decreed, and deprive all the oppressed of their rights." And so when you are consuming alcohol, she says, that you may forget some of the things that you have been taught and how to fully function in your your gifts and your position. And so that's very important if we want to fully function in our gifts and our purpose, that we don't get overtaken by the consumption of alcohol or any substance for that matter. And so we want to be able to maintain our integrity if we choose to use things that may alter our state of mind. Then we want not to use them to the excess where they uh, cloud our judgment. All right. Uh, it says, verse 6 says, "Let beer be for those who are perishing, wine for those who are in anguish." And so, in other words, this is what I'm getting from this, is that she wants you to be sober. We should be sober. We should not look for external forces to really assure us who we are, right? And we should get our jubilance from within, and not taking substance to help us to get to that best place, or uh, that best mindset that we may think that these things bring to us. And I'm not just talking about from you know just hearsay. This is something that I've experienced. I used to drink and smoke quite often, matter of fact, daily. And uh, God delivered me several years ago, since 1995 was the last time I took a drink and smoked some altering substances that could alter my mind. And so he's done some great things for me. But one of the things he had me quickly realize that I didn't need that to to be the best man that I could be, which I thought I did while I was doing it. And so he delivered me, and then he showed me that I could still have fun and I could still be entertaining and I could still be cool without alcohol and drugs. And so that was a blessing. That was a blessing for me. Verse 7 says, let them drink and forget their poverty and remember their misery no more. And he said, let other folks get involved in that when they think that um, they're taking their stress away by engaging and indulging in those things. Verse 8, he says, speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are destitute. And she says that, son, you got a place in this world where you need to help those that can't help themselves, right? Those that don't know how. Maybe they can, but they're just not in position to help themselves. And so you have to put yourself in position to assist those. Verse 9, it says, speak up and judge fairly, defend the rights of the poor and needy. And I'm excited about blockchain everything because that's exactly what we're doing. Our mission is to bring clean water and resources to the underprivileged and underserved throughout the whole world, right? And so we want to be able to aid the poor and the needy, as this mother is telling her son. It says, verse 10 says, a wife of noble character who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. And so when you're searching for a wife of noble character, you want to make sure that your character is noble, right? And so that whatever spouse you're looking for and the characteristics that you want them to possess, make sure you possess those as well. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. And lacks nothing of value. And so we know this is a Proverbs 31 woman, and it says that her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. And so we have to be that chosen one that lacks no value. I was reading today in this book called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, and it was talking about the characteristics that you desire in another you should also possess or yearn to possess. And then just to have a positive outlook. So, you know, as you want someone to think of you, you want to think of them as well in that manner. Like the word says, do unto others as you will have them do unto you. You also need to think about others as you will have them think about you. And that was some good stuff. That was some good stuff. Verse 12, it says, she brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. You know, I'm in this process right now. I'm learning how to value those that are around me and value them with my mind and with my actions. Okay. So I've intentionally value people what I think about them, how I think about them, how I respond to them. Okay. And because if you do that, you will definitely find value in how they respond back to you. It may not happen overnight, but if you continue to be consistent and intentional on how you think about others and how you feel about others, those things can be reciprocated towards you, reciprocated towards you, um, and maybe not just from that person, but others as well. All right, verse 13. She selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. She is like the merchant ships bringing her food from the altar. And so she's busy about providing. She's an entrepreneur firsthand. She does what she does, and she does it eagerly because she has a family to provide for and make goods for. Verse 15 says, she gets up while it is still night. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. And so not only does she do good for her family, but those that serve her, right? She makes sure they're taken care of. And so that's the mindset that we need to have as men and women. We have to have a mindset to not only bless those that are connected, well, in our family, but those that are connected to us as well. You know, if they're working for us or if they are helping us in any form or fashion, if they're in our community and things of that nature. Verse 16 says, she considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. And so she uses her earnings, right? Her harvest, and she don't just throw it away, but she plants more. She plants for her future. And that's what we need to do with our finances every day. Every time we get finances in, we need to take a portion of that and use a portion of that to plant some more, to plant for our future. Hallelujah. She works, verse 17, she sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her task. She has sufficient strength to take care of her business. And you have to realize you have everything that you need to take care of the business that God has gifted you to be a part of. You know, you have exactly what you need. And so don't operate in the mindset of lack. You got to operate in the mindset of, hey, I got enough, sufficiency. Verse 18, she sees that her trading is profitable and her lamp does not go out at night. She got plenty oil for her lamp. Whatever her needs is, she has sufficiency to meet all her needs. And she sees that God is blessing her efforts. Verse 19, in her hand, she holds the distaff and grasps the spindles with her fingers. She uses her gifts and talents to take her to that next level. And she's always thinking about others in the process. Verse 20, she opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. Look at that. She's reaching out for others that cannot assist themselves as well as she can, and she's wanted to take care of them and assist them so that they can get to a position where they can help themselves. And that's a wonderful thing. And if you help enough people get what they need, you'll always get what you need. Verse 21, when it snows, she has no fear for her household, for all of them are clothed in scarlet. So she's prepared for various times, right? So she makes sure her when seasons change, that she's prepared for the change of the season. And that's what we have to do. We have to prepare for the seasons that's coming up. And we don't know what those seasons, you know, we know basically the type of climate to expect, but there's some other seasons that come, you know, and that's coming down the line, and we have to prepare for those. We have to prepare for those. We have to have a savings account where if there's another pandemic, right, we could prepare for that. You need to at least have 6 months worth of holdings so that you can sustain your family. And it's been a couple of years. We were in the pandemic, and so you might even go as far as a couple of years, or have things set up so that you can still function in hard times. Verse 23, her husband is respected at the city gate, where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. And so her husband can operate at his best because of what she does. This is that virtuous woman, right? And my wife, as a virtuous man, should be able to operate at her best because of what I do. And that should go vice versa, right? And so we need to be there for our spouses. We need to be there for our significant others. And as we apply ourselves and apply our hands to diligently do the work that has been put before us, then we can see definitely change in the prosperity of those that we love. This is what it's saying to me. Verse 24, she makes linen garments and sells them and supplies the merchants with sashes. Wow. So she's not only doing business to consumer, right? She's doing business to business. And she's even taking care of the merchants. And so we have to put ourselves in a place where we not only do business to consumer, but we're doing business to business. That's very powerful. All right. She is clothed, verse 25, with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. It's because she don't have any worry. You can laugh when you know that, hey, you put your best foot forward and you're doing the things that you need to do on a consistent and daily basis, so the future doesn't scare you. Pardon me. The future don't scare you, and so you can continue to move forward and have fun and have a joyous outlook on your tomorrow. Verse 26. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instructions is on her tongue. She just doesn't say anything and everything. She seasons her words with grace and speaks wisdom that she's learned, right? That she's been taught. Pardon me. She watches over, verse 27, over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. She's always doing something that's adding value to her life and to the life of her family. And that's what we need to do, is always look for ways to add value to our life and the life of our family. Verse 28, her children arise and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. We need to give honor where honor is due, right? And let the ones that we know that are aiding us and helping us and working hard to show their love and their appreciation for us, we need to praise them. Verse 29, many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. And so her work speaks for herself, because what she's doing is showing that it's not that I love you. She has to say it. She's showing it. She's demonstrating it. Verse 30 says, charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. In verse 31, honor her for all that her hands have done, and let her works bring praise at the city gate. Wow, what an awesome chapter um, in the book of Proverbs. If we can just add these nuggets to our lives on a daily and consistent basis, we can definitely excel in this life. Y'all be blessed. I'm just Antoine with your daily living with Proverbs, and we'll see you at the top. Bye for now.